Ashley and welcome back to my vlog. So I've got 3 vlogs to film today, purely through lack of organisation through myself. I've got both riding and weight loss vlogs to film for week 7 and my riding vlog for today, so week 8. I think I'm going to stick with having like the riding progress vlog separate to the weight loss vlog, just to make them a little bit shorter, but also so that people who just want to sort of hear about the riding, they can sort of just watch the riding ones if they want to, and yeah, just see how I guess that sort of goes. So you will see me for the next 3 vlogs in the exact same shirt at this point. If I can sit for all 3 right now, I will film them all right now because I just really want to get them done. Yeah, so we are going back to week 7's riding lesson. So it was actually a really nice day. It was really hot. We had a larger group of students than we normally do. Sorry, that is my dog. She's decided to play with her lamb toy, so she's going to squeak that for a while. Yeah, so we had a larger group than normal. We had 8 students, so they split us up into 2 groups of 4. A lot of us went out with one of our riding instructors, so we went out on the trails, and then the other group did some groundwork with our other instructor, and then like at the halfway point we swapped over. So my group, the group that I was in, we went out on the trails first, and because there was only 4 of us and I was on Tarantino, we were in the lead because he's obviously got a longer stride. He's a bit more forward than some of the other ponies, so he just sort of naturally walks a bit quicker sometimes. So we're going off ahead. We're just doing our walking warm-up up the hill, which is fine. Then we get through the gate and Michelle, our instructor, tells us to trot from where we are to the oak tree, which is fun, you know, we do it all the time. So get Tarantino into a trot, we're going along lovely, and then all of a sudden I hear a metal on metal sound, and then look down and ping! Well, that looks like a horseshoe flying through the air. Wonderful. So Tarantino lost a shoe within 10 minutes of the lesson starting. So we pull up to a stop, and at the same time, one of the other riders must have had an issue with her horse because our instructor Michelle was actually with her, and then she turns around to us and goes, "Oh, start, like you can trot on now." And I was like, "Well, Tarantino's just lost a shoe." She's like, "What do you mean?" And I said to her, I was like, I just heard a click, like a metal on metal sound, and saw it fling off. And she's like, "Oh my God, did you see where it went?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's back there on the side of the trail, on the side of the Dolomite." And she's like, "Am I close?" I was like, no, like further back. And she saw it, she got down and grabbed it and everything. So she was explaining to me that Tarantino's horseshoes are very expensive for his feet, or his hooves. So she was extremely grateful that it had happened when it did, so we could find it. And basically I thought that was it. I thought I was done for the lesson. And she just said, "No, I can keep going, just not on the Dolomite. He has to stay on the grass or on the soft sand." So I was on the grass for the rest of that part, and then when we got into the soft sand area, I was in the lead again, which is kind of cool. So we did some trotting and then like up and back on this trail. He was moving really well, and then Michelle got back in front and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna go down here. We're just gonna walk down this hill," which is fine. We went down this hill and then around the back of these trees, and then we turned around and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna canter up this hill." And I was like, "Oh, okay, is canter up that hill or trot up that hill?" I think it was we were trotting to that point and then we were turning to go onto the trail and canter up that point. So that was fine. So we did the trot, and then we got onto the trail and swung around into a canter, or it was canter. I actually think it was canter and then canter again. So we cantered up, turned around, cantered, and on this particular trail, he gets to a certain point, Tarantino gets to this certain point, and he'll just stop. stop cantering. He'll go into his trot and then he'll go into a walk. Regardless of where he is in that lineup, he will do it at the same point every time. I knew it was coming up, so I kept kicking him on, and funnily enough, having the longer stirrups actually made it easier. I actually felt a lot more contact with my heels than I normally do, which was great. Like, I felt like it was easier to kick him on. I wasn't having to swing my legs so far away to make contact. So yeah, we cantered the whole way along that track, got to the top and then stopped, which was really, and it was stopping when I asked him to. It wasn't just because that was it, we're at the top. I asked him to slow down into the trot and the walk, and he did, which was great. So by that point, it was pretty much time to do the swap over. So we started to walk back, and I was talking to Michelle about my stirrups and just said, look, I wasn't sure last week if that was correct, because it felt so foreign to me, and that I felt like I was falling out of the stirrups. And then this week, it was easier. It was easier ride. It was easier to kick him on. You know, it just felt better. Now, bear in mind, Tarantino, he puddin'. He's a little round horse. And Ted is not. Ted is skinny. So when I was on Ted with the long stirrups, it literally felt like my legs were directly underneath me, pretty much. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But it felt like they felt longer because he's obviously a narrower horse. And then when I had them on Tarantino and they were longer, I was going more around. So it didn't feel so much like they were really long, if you get my drift. But it felt more comfortable, and it was easier to urge him on, and it was actually pretty good. So as we were walking along, she was telling me that, you know, as you get more experience, they do introduce more things. Like, there is a lot more you can do with longer stirrups, with, you know, urging a horse on and kicking him on and stuff like that. There's more contact that you can give. Obviously, when you start, they give us what makes us comfortable, so that we're building up a bit more of the strength and, you know, the strength and I guess the knowledge of how to work. And then they gradually, like, will, you know, lengthen the stirrups, and they'll introduce new things so you can actually, like, use your body more rather than having to kick and urge on and having to pull with your reins and stuff like that. So it was actually, like, that part was really good. And then we walked down and swapped with the other group. And Michelle just had to let Mr. K know that I wasn't allowed to take Tarantino out of the arena, because with his other group, they were just doing like an around the school walk or trot, sorry, when we were swapping over with them. So she wanted him to know that she couldn't do that. He couldn't do that with Tarantino and me, so we had to stay in the arena, which was fine. He just modified it a little bit, and none of us ended up leaving. We just went around the arena. But we were doing a lot of just basic stuff, like walk, trot stuff, and I was in the lead, and it was really good. And then we were like, Mr. K was like, okay, we're gonna do some cantering stuff now, and I was like, oh god, Tarantino's in the lead. I always struggle with him to get him into a canter, but I actually didn't struggle. I got him into the canter. I was using my legs more, you know, and for the whole time we were cantering, I managed to keep Tarantino on the track. Like, he didn't cut any corners at all, and it was so much easier to sit the canter in those corners with the longer stirrups. So when we stopped, I did actually apologize to Mr. K for the way I was getting upset the week before about the long stirrups, and I just said to him, look, I didn't realize like it would feel different. It feels better this week, and I'm grateful for the fact that you are actually helping me and not just letting me do what I want. Like, you are actually teaching me, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so I felt like I owed him that apology, because I hadn't gotten snarky or anything with him. Excuse me. The week before, he knew I wasn't comfortable, he knew I wasn't happy. And I felt really bad for just putting off that vibe once he extended my stirrups. Like, I should have just trusted him and that it would be fine. But I guess sometimes I just feel like, because he's a bit older, he's a bit more old school, and I'm like, I don't know if that's right. But obviously he does know what he's talking about. He's been teaching for a long time. He's been riding for longer. It was just a misjudgment in my own sense, my own head. So yeah, I did actually apologize to him and said thank you for making the change and for trusting that I was ready to have my stirrups lowered, because it made so much of a difference. So it was really good. And then we did the canter again and managed to keep him going the whole time, and I was so happy. Like, he didn't slow down. He was doing a nice canter. Like, he wasn't taking off with me. I was in control. He wasn't cutting the corners. He was going around the edges, and it made it, like, it was such a good lesson. It made me feel like I was finally getting somewhere with him. So I was actually really pleased with that lesson. I was quite happy. I was going to film after it, and then I had a few errands to run, so I didn't actually film after it, and I was planning on doing it when I got home. Then I remembered I hadn't filmed vlog 6, like the weight loss part of vlog 6, or I had filmed parts of it, but if you've watched it, you would have seen I bawled my eyes out through 2 parts of it, and then at the start, like, I did like a little intro. That was what I filmed after riding last week, so that week. So I didn't really have time because I wanted to shower because I felt like crap. It was really, like I said, it was a really hot day, so I was like really sticky. So I just wanted to shower, and then by the time I got out of the shower, my mum and my niece were here, and like I had a friend, or my mum's friend was coming over, and I was like, I'm not vlogging while there's other people here. I can't do it. I just can't. But yeah, so that was that lesson. So I'm really happy so far with the progress. Like, it is a little step at a time, and it is one good lesson, one bad lesson, I guess, almost. Some weeks it's like 2 in a row that are really good, and then others it's like, nope, what are you doing? But yeah, so I will finish off the horse riding vlog for week, I want to say 7, and now I'm worried that I've got the wrong week, but I think it's week 7. And yeah, so you'll see me shortly in the same outfit for the weight loss vlog for week 7. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment and subscribe. And if you are in South Australia, you ride in South Australia, you have horses in South Australia, or you know, you just want to, I don't know, talk. Any suggestions, comments, anyone who's willing to let me help out with the horses, I am open for any experience because I love it. I love being around horses. I want to learn more about them. I want to learn more about how to look after them and what makes them tick, what makes them happy. I know licorice makes Tarantino happy. But yeah, so if you're in SA, let me know. All right, catch you later, guys. Bye.